Well, hello the internet, it's Ghost here, and welcome to episode 85. I just bashed my arm into my desk, that hurt a lot. And we are doing decorative stuff today in that cave. And, remember what the cave looks like without moss and without glowberries and vines, because I'm going to transform it. Why? Because I love moss, and I love glowberries, and I had a perfect excuse to do that. First of all, I built this massive additional cave section because I didn't want the whole thing, and I wanted somewhere that I could spawn in some turtles and some squids and axolotls, and then decided to split those into two separate things. So I had to make two separate pools. But nonetheless, I did terraforming. I hate doing terraforming. It just kind of drives me mad at a certain point, because why can't I just magically tell it what I want it to do? I guess arguably that's what World Edit exists for. I don't use World Edit. I think my laptop would actually crash at that point. Touch wood. And yeah, I have to do everything by hand or by TNT if I'm getting rid of large things. TNT, because it makes my life so much easier. It's how I've leveled a lot of areas off. I also use fire to get rid of large patches of trees. Mostly because I end up picking large areas with trees and then deciding to build everything flat, and I'm quite annoyed at myself for that last town, for doing everything on one level. It just looks a bit meh. It looks alright walking through it, but yeah, it's just meh. Okie dokie, and then we're still leveling the water. This took a very long time, and I also kept having to find more videos to watch, which is why I stared off into the distance, and you can see all the bats flying around. Now, I was just like, well, really, bats, why are you here? Entirely forgetting that I am in fact using night vision constantly, and therefore I can see everything. This would also come back to bite me when I'd come down here later on and discover this is actually really dark. There's no way I can do anything in here without night vision. And having the particles going up across the screen really annoy me. Admittedly, yes, I could turn off particle effects, but then I get rid of the fireflies. And I like fireflies, and I don't go around placing fireflies to not have them there. So yeah, leveled off the water eventually to where I wanted it to be. Any time now, though. Oh, maybe digging some stuff. There we go. And then went and started stashing. We did glowberries. Then eventually, I will start stashing firefly bushes in the wall. Why? Because I don't want the bushes to be seen. I want magical particle effects, and that's the only way to do it. Yeah, I've stashed a lot of firefly bushes in walls and in the ground, and it looks really nice because then you get it during the day, and then I'm really happy about that. So here we go. I started bone mealing in lots and lots and lots of moss, and I decided, well, let's add some of the big azalea tree versions of the bushes. And that looked so good. I mean, it admittedly doesn't look particularly great right now, but when you have no night vision, and once I think more of the glowberries are in, it's going to look very good. Or at least that's my opinion. So I kept adding in lots and lots of moss until I was satisfied that everything was mossed up enough. Then discovered this bit also needs it, otherwise it looks really stupid. There was no plan going into this. It was just sprawl nature everywhere and hope for the best. I tried though to do things a bit more patchy here, so it wasn't just green as far as the eye could see. There's probably some more work I could go in and do on it. Am I likely to do that anytime soon? No, I'll decide in about 6 months' time. Well, why didn't you do that? I also discovered that as you come through this tunnel, there's just this massive open gap, and I was trying to fill that so it didn't look as weird. Some of it's going to be relying on glowberries growing to block off the back area of the cave, because I don't want to get rid of it, on the basis of I might decide to use that at some point. But me using that is very much it's not happening anytime soon, so it's all got to wait. I guess I could build some more Nautilus stable things there, and therefore having it be a big open space would allow me to kind of build whatever I wanted, without having to TNT everything, which would be great. That would be very helpful, actually, because it's so boring going around and going, how big do I need this? I don't want to blow it up more than I have to, and then having to blow it up more than you have to actually get an idea of what you want to build. Anyways, we're back to doing kelp and sea pickles, something we've been doing for several episodes now. I put in lots of kelp. trying not to put too many blocks together, because as I discovered, that makes it look really weird and stupid like it does outside in the ocean. And I'm trying to fix that. Then I did the seagrass, and putting the seagrass after the kelp means it kind of gets broken up a little bit. See, this looks nice and natural. Then I picked out some corals, had to get night vision again, presumably, or not, because we're underwater and that's fine. Decided to stare at something else, probably on my phone rather than playing the game. And any minute now, I don't know why I keep yawning, we will go back to playing. Here we go. Pick some more coral colours out. Decided to just go with red and pink and yellow. There is no particular reason for this other than I liked it. I also find sometimes the blue blends in too much, and therefore I did not want lots of blue. But I did add some the coral fans in blue, because why not? Added lots of coral fans to the edge to try and add some life to it. Could have added some glow lichen down here, but I didn't. I did miss a trick there. That's something that I do maybe need to go back in and fix. Stared underwater for a while and had to accept it will look better when the kelp grows. Then went in, added some sea pickles and some seagrass all along this little kind of riverway, just to try and make it look more interesting. Added in some little bits of coral, tried to give these guys a nice habitat. I am going to fix their area up. I'm quite disappointed in myself for it, because oh my, do I love these little nautiluses. They're brilliant in my opinion, and I hear footsteps. That would be my sibling returning. We're going to speed run the end of this video. Added in some actual amethyst clusters, because apparently I did not do that when I built the thing, and I wondered why it looked weird. Added in some alliums and some blue orchids and some of the lily of the valleys that look more like snowdrops in my opinion, because I personally think they are the most whimsical of the flowers in here, and they go with my colour palette. We are almost there. Stared off into the distance for a while. You know, we'd be done with this video if I didn't keep staring at nothingness. Any moment now we're going to start playing again, and we're going to play some Lily of the Valleys. There we go. Placed 1, 2, and then one with blue orchids. Back to Lily of the Valley, and that is basically it for the end of this episode. I went back up to see some daylight and touch some grass. Goodbye the internet.